evening, Pat.
Good evening, Sam. How are you doing?
I am great, and good evening, morning, night to everyone who's watching. Sorry that we're like a week late on this one. Out of town traveling for a
I was
week.
too, technically. It's the
Yeah,
holidays. It's always hard.
yeah, it is. And well, I mean, I didn't like go anywhere where you normally celebrate Thanksgiving, but I was 9 hours ahead. So
Right.
it was a bit. It was odd for me because normally, we wake up and then we watch the highlights
Of
like
course.
right after you have breakfast. But I had to wait until like after lunch
Oh my God.
for a few days. It was miserable.
That sounds horrible.
I wanted to call the JSA and ask them to start like 6 hours early just for me, but
They probably would have picked up.
I think they might have. I don't speak any Japanese, but I think they would have.
And I
They
don't think
would.
they have a phone number, but
No,
other than that, those
no, they don't.
details.
But other than that, it was a really fun Basho.
Yeah.
Um, really
Yes,
a
it
tale of
was.
2 weeks
Mm.
for a lot of people, for a lot of
Yeah.
guys. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty outrageous. I would say a shocking ending.
Hmm.
A lots of dramatic moments. It was overall, like I would say, a very overall exciting match. I mean, obviously, the biggest thing to talk about is Ian. That's number one.
Absolutely.
Taking the cup. Um, I mean, wild. First Ukrainian to win a Basho at the top division,
Hmm.
which is a huge deal, obviously, especially given the fact that he's a refugee. It's like there's a lot of play here, and it's a pretty crazy. He has a pretty crazy backstory for him to come this far and kind of like win the tournament like that is insane.
Yeah, and he's only 21.
21 years old, and now has
Yeah,
been promoted to Ozeki officially
yeah. He got
at
the
the
he
time of
got the
this
Ozeki
recording.
fish.
He did get the fish.
He didn't drop it,
He didn't, thank God.
so that bodes well for him. Not that
Now I
dropping
can't say
it
the same. I
boded
can't say the same
poorly.
for other people in the past. So
Yeah.
it's
So
the fact that he pulled it off is pulled off not dropping a fish is
well, let's
it's
get
pretty
right. I
cool.
guess let's get right into Onishiki since that's the kind of the main talking point.
Yeah, I'm down.
I mean, yeah, just he was consistent the whole way through, and 12-3. So finally an improvement over 11-4. I say finally. I don't mean that in like, oh, finally, but like it actually happened when all the jokes were about like, oh, is he just going to go 11-4 again? But
Forever.
yeah, no, it's just what a yeah. What I some specifically here. Um, yeah, like day five when he got Hanked and everyone was like freaking out about it. But like he goes low, so it's not too surprising he got bit by the Hanka. But I feel like it's with Aonishki, there's a lot of things that work against him like one time, and then he just like
Mm,
he absorbs it, and
adapts
he's like, okay, now
immediately.
that's not going to defeat me. That's not going to defeat him ever again. And that may have been the case with the Hanka.
Yeah,
So
no, it's totally true. He's a fast one. He's a fast learner,
mhm,
and
mhm.
I agree. People at that level, they don't like. I mean, well, that's not the case for everybody, but some people at that level don't like to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah,
And he didn't, at least this tournament. So absolutely, no. I mean, like he bounced back from that one real easy.
yeah, and I mean he really showed how he can just handle the pressure. I mean, going into a playoff against the Yokozuna and beating him. Um, I mean, that's crazy for a 21-year-old.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Hmm.
He definitely. I mean, again, I'm not gonna say he got lucky, but definitely got a little bit lucky with the Onosato shocking injury on the last day.
Hmm.
He had to sit out the final day. He was in line. We were in line for a potential three-way playoff,
Hmm.
and it didn't pan out. So in some ways, yeah, I think it was kind of like he saw a potential opening. I mean, right now, as we talked about in the last one, it's like it's extremely crowded at the top. You got two
Yeah.
Yokozuna who are both operating at very high levels, and
Hmm.
then a bunch of other dudes who were kind of clawing their way up. So, you kind of see that he had this moment okay, maybe I can actually beat Hoshoryu, and then he took it and he went for it. So
Yeah,
that's what sumo's all about. You got to take your moment when it's there.
yeah, and part of my once I'm not handling the pressure, part of me thought for Biz like, well, he's so young, he's
Yeah.
not from Japan.
No.
Not to speak condescendingly, but like maybe he just isn't experienced enough to really take in what a big moment this was. But I think when you see his immediate reaction afterwards, just how wrong that that opinion or thought is when he goes down into the tunnel, he's crying, and he just embraces his coach. Um, and then more of his backstory came out after he won, and how
Yeah.
right after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, he had met a sumo. What he met his Oyakata
Hmm.
at like a large amateur event. He texted him being like, "Hey, can you help me?" Texted him as a 17-year-old, and then moved to Japan within a few weeks or months, and now he's winning he's raising the Emperor's Cup is just insane.
It's wild. I mean, we haven't had a story like this, and
Hmm.
probably maybe not will not have another story like this for a long time.
Hmm.
It's very very unique, and
Hmm.
I mean, sky's the limit. He said it himself. He said he I think during his acceptance speech, someone asked him if he was looking to be promoted to Ozeki, and he kind of said like, yeah, but I'm aiming higher, basically.
Yeah, and
Which
I
we love to hear that.
definitely. And here's how I knew it was kind of a huge moment, not even like outside of sumo as well, as where I was on
Mm,
vacation in Azerbaijan. But at like the hotel breakfast, they had CNN on, like CNN Europe, which is a bit different from the American CNN. But I had to do a double take because I was like, "Is that Ayo Nishiki?" And CNN Europe was talking about him
whoa.
winning. Um, and that's when I was like, "Wow, this is huge." I've never seen the only like major news outlet that I regularly look at talk about anything sumo was BBC, but that was only when they were talking about the
Right, the
London the
London,
lead up
yeah.
and during and coverage of the London tournament. So it was a huge. That just shows like how huge this was for
Yeah.
Anishki and the sport as well. So it's great to see.
No, it's so true. I mean, it's been a big year for Suno between this
Hmm.
and the London tournament. Like, I think it has probably attracted a lot more new viewers.
Hmm.
I have a feeling it's going to become harder and harder to get tickets and be more expensive
Hmm.
in the future, which is an unfortunate byproduct for us,
Hmm.
because the scalping issue is a pretty big problem.
Yeah.
To say, I mean, we could do a whole podcast on that, but then maybe that's for another day.
Hmm.
But either way, it's always great to see excitement and people come into the sport,
No,
because
for sure.
why not?
Now for the other top guys, how do you feel about how Hoshoyu's tournament went?
Well, I think overall, obviously, he went really well. It did he
Hmm.
he did really well. I mean, finishing 12-3, and no one's going to argue that. Kind of like shocking defeat day one to Hakuoho, who kind of then went on
Yeah.
to have a pretty lackluster tournament, relatively speaking. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of funny. So like they both lost three, obviously. Um, and he lost to Ao Nishiki earlier in the tournament, day 14.
Hmm.
So losing to the same guy twice, that doesn't help the record of Hoshoyu.
No.
But I think overall, obviously spectacular, still looking extremely strong, beating all the major hitters. I mean, you never discount the brothers Waka. They have a way
Hmm.
of taking people down unexpectedly. So yeah, no, I mean, I think he did great. I'm sure you feel the same way, but
I do. My only criticism is, yeah, you mentioned Hakuo and Wakamoto Haru. Like those are
yes,
not the losses that Yokozuna should be taking. He should not be losing to the rank and file Omega Shira. And
agreed.
it's something I've always talked about Hoshoyu. It's one constant is him kind of losing a couple one or two matches that he really should in every Basho, with the exception of like one or two tournaments. It seems like.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, losing to a Henka, but I think the Henka just like turned him into an absolute machine. He went on a
Yeah,
warpath after that.
yeah,
So
he
I
did.
overall like at on day 15, I was happy. Yokozuna should be in contention, and every Basho when he hasn't been injured, he's been a contender for the U show and has a couple Jun shows now. So I'm I'm fine with how he did this Basho. I'd like to see him win, but I can't be upset about Aonishiki winning
Yeah,
in
that's
any
true.
in any way. The results speak for themselves. So uh, better luck next time. But I'm not like overly concerned with him. Who I am concerned about is
Mhm.
Onosato.
Oh, you are
I
you?
am because well, he's injured. He went
Yeah,
out
of course.
like, and you think it must be a bad injury if he's going to go out day 15 and he's still in the Yusho race.
I mean, it's
Yusho race.
it's pretty common for sumo wrestlers. We've seen it before in the last couple of tournaments for people that kind of like suck it, quote unquote, suck it up.
Hmm.
We've seen people competing when you visually should not be competing. You can see
Yeah.
them not being able to give it 100%. You can see them limping. So I agree for him to say no on the final day and not just push it. Like it had to be something
Yeah.
relatively serious, but I mean, at the same time, he's also young, and so maybe they're just kind of thinking, well, he's already Yokozuna, he's not going to win this one, but let's have him come back strong and win the next one. I'm assuming, but
Yeah. I don't. Yeah. Maybe.
could
I
go
don't
either
know
way.
because I could see it going either way, but you have to think like if it's just. I think a lot of those guys, if they are one win away from getting a U show, would just say, "I'm going to suck it up," and whatever additional injury I put on this is worth it for the U show for the win. Um, and for the guys who are this competitive, this level of an athlete, I think it's got to be a pretty big thing, pretty big injury to make them say like, I'm okay, I'm not going to compete. Um, so
It has to be for sure.
so it was a disappointment in terms of the competition. I'm not disappointed in him at all. Like health is paramount to everything else.
Of course,
Especially as Yokozuna, he can take the time off and not worry about getting a demotion or anything like that.
that's the
Um,
thing. He has that luxury.
yeah. But in terms of competition, it's good that Aonishiki won and it did go to a playoff because I think everyone would have been really upset if Hoshoryu would have won on a fusion. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, that worked out really nicely,
yeah.
but
So
it was a close call. No one wants a win by
mhm.
default.
Yeah, so hopefully it's a quick bounce back for Onosato and he is back because if it's these three guys competing at the top, and where every one of them can defeat the other one, it's going to make for a real exciting next year of sumo. And I think also Onosato kind of going down with an injury, it kind of really put a damper on. It feels like a damper on the year because to finish the year on this
Yeah,
note, it seemed like this year was all of like the year of Onosato. I mean, it started off with Hoshoyu getting the promotion to Yokozuna, which was great. But then shortly after that, Onosato, and it was like, we were talking, is he going to win his fourth out of six Basho? He crushed this year up until these last few days. And now it's like Ayu Nishiki is the talk of the town, which he as well should be.
sure.
Um, but it's kind of a real letdown for the how the year ends compared to, well, how the first 11 and a half months went.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it is a disappointment for
mhm,
sure. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's interesting now. I think you're like you said, we have these big three guys at the top now, but then I don't know. We got a lot of newcomers coming in that
mhm,
are already showing some interesting promise. You got the boy from Kumamoto, Yoshino Fuji,
mhm,
kind of putting on making some waves. Only his third tournament at the top. Not. It's funny. I feel like nowadays it's like you come to the top division and you have an explosive dominance, or like people don't even talk about you. But like I think he had a really great tournament. Finished at 9-6.
mhm.
I think he's definitely one to look out for. And he kind of joins a number of guys near the bottom that I think are going to become contenders really quick. Now that there's kind of some space for them, I think. So I will be really curious to see how it goes in the next one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You and Yoshino Fuji handed Onosato his first loss, and it was like a what is happening because it was. I
Shocking.
mean, people had almost like written off this Basho after Onosato was 7-0 and 8-0, and it was like, well,
It was a wrap.
okay, it's going to be a total domination. But then, yeah, Yoshino Fuji came in, beat him, then he lost to Takanosho, so it really made it much more exciting.
How many
Another
more
person,
Fujis can we get in
yeah.
the top division? That's really what I'm looking for
Yeah, I know you're
because
all about the Fujis. You're
I'm
very
a big
pro Fuji.
I'm a Fuji guy.
Um, Another person who went the opposite way in terms of how their first compared to second week went was the at the time lone Ozeki Koto Sakura,
Oh,
um,
ooh,
who
ooh,
was
ooh.
2-5 on day at the end of day 7, and then
Yeah,
went 6-2 the rest of the way. So
pretty
uh,
amazing. He was able to salvage that one.
yeah, kind of a crazy bounce back. I mean, just here are my notes that I have because I take daily notes, and
Yeah, yeah.
I said, oh, it must be bittersweet for you, Pat, to watch Ura beat Koto Sakura.
It
Um,
was. It
Day
that
six,
indeed it was.
Koto Sakura looking really weak. Tamawashi was easily, I shouldn't say easily, was able to deflect, spin, and pull him out. It's like Koto Sakura's a big boy, and Tamawashi just kind of him
Yeah,
out
he
of there.
slapped him up. He slapped him up real good.
And then day 7, Koto Sakura is done. That was the only note I had because it was such a bad loss for him against Wakamoto Haru. I was like, man, and we were texting about it. It was like,
Yeah, two
dude,
and five
just
is crazy.
it was like just
I
take
don't.
the day, just take it off. Just take the rest of the Basho off. Like,
I'm not really sure what kicked in. I mean, it's not like he had. I mean, he had some relatively easy fights, but he beat Yoshino Fuji. He beat Takanosho. Like it wasn't like a
mhm.
walk in the park. The back half, he just kind of. I don't know. Maybe he ate some extra horse meat for breakfast, and he decided it was gonna be his. He was gonna take it somewhere.
It might have been the raw horse meat. Maybe he got a shot of
It could have been.
Novocaine that just like
We we
numbed
don't know that.
everything.
We don't know that. We're just speculating here. We're
It
just
might have been
speculating.
raw horse meat infused with Novocaine.
It could have been. Well,
Um,
that's yeah. I've heard. I did read about that somewhere.
yeah. Where'd
Hmm.
you read about that at?
It's classified. I can't. Yeah, I can't talk about
It's
it.
my thought.
So,
Um,
uh-huh.
okay, I guess we should have talked about this earlier. The Ao Nishiki Onosato bout that
Oh,
a lot of people lost their minds over, saying it
yeah.
should have gone to a Monoi, or I said Ao Nishiki was robbed against Onosato. Well, not robbed, but it should have been a Monoi.
There were a couple. I didn't take notes on that, but there were a
Hmm.
couple times this bot show where we texted each other, and I was kind of like, I don't know about that one. And it's
Yeah.
just one of those things. It's just one of those weird things about the sport because I mean, I guess you could say every sport has questionable plays. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
NFL, NBA, everything that has a ref that can impact the sport is going to
Yeah.
have issues inherently.
Yeah.
But I think it's for sumo. What's weird about it is it's like it's just like it's such a different thing. It's like technically more pure, right? Because you don't have
Hmm.
like replays and you don't have, digital 4K cameras zooming in on things and being
Yeah.
able to call the booth. And it's just up to these guys who are sitting there. So it's more
Well,
subjective.
yeah.
But yeah,
And they will do the replay if they call a Monoi, but they have to there has to be a Monoi only happens when a Shimpan, when one of the sideline judges thinks the Gyoji made the wrong call. So all four of
of
them thought he
course.
made the right call. And when we looked at the replays, like he did. Dead
He
body
did make the right
ruling.
call.
And it kind of comes down to like, oh well, the top side of his toe was out, but he's the one making the aggressive push, but then you go back one frame and it's like, oh, Aonishki's pushing Ono Sato down. So it's like I could sort of see where some people say, it should have gone to a Monoi or a Torinoshi, and that Aonishiki was also making an aggressive move, but Aonishiki's being pushed out. So I could see, and then the next day, um, Ichi Yamamoto won day 14. On day 14, he won against Yoshino Fuji, but Ichi Yamamoto still had his foot in.
Right.
And it's funny, I put Ichi Yamamoto, aka Michigan Moto, because I was texting you and it auto corrected Ichi Yamamoto Michigan Moto. So
That's what they
that's
call
his
him.
that's his new nickname in my mind is Michigan
Yeah.
Moto. But
I'll
but
take
yeah,
it.
no, so all in all, it was the right call for Onosato to win that.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
it, but I remember when I
But
first watched it, and I was like, "There's no Monoi," but it's of course from where we're watching above,
yeah.
we don't see it as well as they see it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where too like it's like anytime that it's that close, it's like it's always kind of awesome in
Yeah.
some ways because it shows that these two dudes are really at like very similar levels. And so you know
Mm-hmm.
what, I expect a lot more close calls in the future.
Yeah, and Aonishiki is doing that was a much better round for Aonishiki against Onosato than his
Big
last few
time. He
bouts. So
didn't get
he's
steamrolled. It's true.
no, he's improving. But
Agreed. Agreed.
yeah. So I put Shishi. It's like the
Shishi.
saying. It's like saying the big tree fall hard, but he's big. He's ungainly and sways back and forth. But it
I know
takes a
he's
lot of effort to bring him down. So in that way, he's like a tree. In that
I,
like he can just power through, and you think he's going down, but he's not. He's just. I think it's because he's such a high center of gravity
yeah.
that it
He's a
just looks
he's a little
really ungainly.
Yeah, he's a little like you hate to say you use the word clumsy, but he comes
Hmm.
across that way a little bit. But
Yeah.
that being said, I will say and this is maybe a hot take, but he almost in some way reminds me of Ura in like his like
Wow, that is a
craziness.
very hot
It's a
take.
hot take.
That's.
I'm aware that it's a hot take. And they're very different styles, very different everything.
Mhm.
But for me, it's like I get the same like I get excited when it's Shishi's fights because it's like, what's
Okay.
he gonna
Okay.
do? Like
Okay.
he's
That's
kind of a
fair.
bit of a wild card, and no matter what, like even I'm sorry, my bird clock. Um, no matter what happens, it's always interesting, and it's like he really gives it his all.
Mhm.
I have just found him to be very entertaining to watch in the same way
Yeah.
that I find Ura entertaining. They're not similar fighters, but I find similar levels of excitement.
Okay.
So
I'll take that.
I'd like to see him stick
Mhm.
around.
Oh, definitely.
Obviously, he's kind of been living on the edge. I mean, he just shot up. Now he's going to go back down. He's pretty yo-yo-y since he's
Mhm.
been in the top division. So who knows? But I would love to see him get a little bit stronger and work on his balance a little more and actually see some more progress at him because I think he's a really interesting fighter.
Okay. No, that's a good insight. I would agree with that. I do too. And I maybe couldn't quite could put a finger on it, but you're right.
Mm,
I think because he's got such high hips, like that's what
yeah,
makes
yeah,
him seem so ungainly and awkward compared to all the other fighters.
that's
Um,
true. Also, just side note, Shishi is 193 centimeters tall, which I don't know what that means in
that's
inches or
like
feet.
6'6".
Yeah, but I mean for example, Onosato is 192, and I know Onosato is massive, so he's extremely tall. Also, um, I don't know who the tallest in the top division is, but he's probably close to, if not the
So he's like
tallest.
6'4".
Yeah, he's
Six
six
four.
four. I mean, actually, I'm looking through it now. I'm just getting a word. Um, Keen Bozo is taller. He's 195, but
Okay.
one I'll go through this in my off time and see who the tallest one is. But the point is, I
Okay.
think his height also does affect his his
Yeah.
style. So
Okay. Um, was there anything else you want to talk about?
I'm ready for the heated results of
Oh
the.
God. Well, I don't know how it's going to go on this one because both of us had some pretty good guys and some guys who were very bad.
It's
Put
gonna
it
be it's gonna I'm actually not
to
I'm
put it
honestly not
mildly.
sure. I'm pretty sure I lost. I'll be honest, but I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see. I got the day 15 results up here. Okay, so I had. All right, I'll take it. Starting off strong, I had Ayunishki, and only taking the end results. So because playoff bouts don't count towards the record.
I see.
So
I see.
I get 12 there, not 13. Um, Hakuoho.
Mm.
6. Abi, who I think got 5.
Yeah, not a
Yeah,
good run for Abi. He's
5.
there's something is wrong there.
Yeah, maybe injury, but yeah, that was not a good guess on my part.
No, no, terrible actually.
Let's see, Oshoumi 7. Oh man, it's not looking
Oh,
great. But then finishing strong with Kirishima at 11. All right.
your spite pick.
He may be what saved me in this one. All right, you started off not great with Takanosho.
No, 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 no.
Um,
That was pretty bad.
he finished at 8 and 7. All right, so good
Yeah,
choice there.
I'll take that. But
Tomokaze, we have not mentioned
Kazu.
him today. 7 and 8.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nishiki Fuji, who I think finished around the mid.
Pretty good. He had 9.
Okay.
Not bad.
No, but speaking of bad, no.
Oh no.
um, you've got Oho.
Yeah, we do
How'd he
have
finish
Oho.
out?
Oho had a 7 and
Oh,
8.
okay. Did he? I don't see him here. We'll see.
Yeah, 7 and 8 for Mr. Oho.
Okay, so I won, but let's get the final score here.
It's got to be kind of close at least. I feel my first win coming on real soon.
Well, you've won before. You just
It's
haven't
been
won
a
in over
while.
a year at this point
It's
now.
been over a year.
Because November last year was last time you won. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, that's how. Yeah.
All
It's
right, so
neither
I
here nor
finished up
neither here nor there.
with 41.
Oh,
You
geez.
got 36.
Yeah, actually pretty close.
Yeah.
If damn Takanosho hadn't blown it, I could have won that one.
Yep. So it looks like Kirishima won it for me in the end there.
God, son of a bitch. Yeah, sometimes
Alrighty.
the way it goes.
Yep. I mean, he did because, well, I mean, we both had 3 guys with losing records, so we
That's
didn't.
true.
This wasn't our finest hour. Alrighty. Well, that's all I got. Great Basho.
Yeah.
Great. And I think if we talked about this a week ago, we may have had a couple more things. No, I don't know.
Perhaps, but I still think we did all right.
No, yeah, for sure. The last thing, you got to be sad. Meisei's going down to Jurio.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you know what? I'll be honest. That does make me a little sad.
I know.
But I'll find a way to pull through. Let's put it that way.
Good. I'm glad. You got to find a way. But all right, man. I'll see you again when it's time for the next Boss show.
Sounds good, man. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day wherever you are.
All right.